All right, we're back with another episode. Recording this a little after noon, Monday morning. Was hoping there would be a little bit more real news than there has been. Although we are going to get some interesting news tomorrow, it seems. We'll get into that a little bit later. But we had some great fights over this past weekend that we're going to talk about. But before we do, wanted to say that my next guest on the show is going to be Trevor Peek, the Tennessee fighter that he won his UFC debut a couple weeks back. He was, a Contender Series guy. He's a native Tennessean like I am, so just, really excited to get to talk to him after his big win and his debut, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that episode. Shout out to his manager, Steve Swedish, for getting everything set up. But, yeah, absolutely cannot wait to talk to that dude. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. 8-0. All of his wins have been by knockout or TKO. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And his most recent win, his debut, he knocked out Eric Gonzalez back in February with 1 second left in the first round. So really going to have a lot of fun talking to him about that. Very clearly a talented guy, got some power in his hands. So, cannot wait to talk to that dude. But, before that episode, of course, we've got to talk about these fights that we had this past weekend. They were pretty good. It was a pretty solid all-around pay-per-view. The prelims were very interesting. A lot of finishes, a lot of different interesting fights there. Maybe the biggest one being Muhammad Mokaev, flyweight fighter. He submitted Fijo in the first fight of like the regular prelims, and that was the fight. You'll remember he was caught in that knee bar. Wicked fucking knee bar. I mean, your knee is not supposed to bend that way. If you haven't seen it, there's plenty of screenshots of it. Go take you a look at it. Your knee's not supposed to do that. It doesn't go in that direction naturally. I have no idea how he didn't tap out. It's brutal. And he said after the fight that he could feel his knee cracking in the knee bar. And he still was just like, no, I'm not going to tap out. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pull you up a picture of that. It's brutal. I don't know how he didn't tap. That shit is insane. Of course, there were people concerned online, he might have done some serious damage to his knee. And maybe he did. I saw a picture of it. I don't know if it was this morning or fucking yesterday morning, whatever it was, just his knee after that. It doesn't look good. It does not look good.
No,
but he was able to come back and get the submission, Like, he did win. I don't know how he didn't tap to that knee bar, but he actually came back and got the submission of his own. So, I mean, hats off to him. He got the win, crazy. But at what cost? Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, that shit's crazy. It's insane.
Oh, yeah, it makes you uncomfortable to look at. I was uncomfortable watching him get put in that knee bar. I mean, hats off to the guy that he fought, man. I mean, it was a good fight. It was competitive, I mean, Mokaev, he very clearly was winning the fight, but I mean, the other guy came to throw down, and like I said, he locked in that fucking knee bar. I feel like that knee bar would have made damn near anyone else tap. But, tapping just doesn't really seem to be an option for Mokaev. And he was number 12 going into that fight. So, I mean, the guy he was fighting was not ranked, but, kind of have to imagine that a win like that, probably tip him over into the top 10. We've got the rankings pulled up now, but I don't think they've updated them yet today. Kind of imagine he'll be in the top 10. Probably get a title shot before the end of next year. I could very easily see Mokaev fighting for the title at some point. There were some other good fights in the prelims too. Ashmaw's got a knockout there. Jake Hadley looked very impressive. He and Malcolm Gordon, that was one of those sleeper fights that they had in the early prelims that, I feel like a lot of people maybe overlooked. Had potential fight of the night written on it beforehand, but it didn't go that long. Jake Hadley was able to get the job done pretty quickly, pretty brutal knockout. And Jack Shore is just, he's a great featherweight fighter, up and coming, got the job done in front of a home crowd. Really strong way to end, an England pay-per-view. A guy like that getting the win, and, really interested in seeing what's next for all those guys. And as far as the main card goes, I said this the other day, but I kind of feel like I need to stop putting my predictions on Twitter because they never go well. I've been watching the sport for a long time, over a decade, and you would think that maybe I'd be able to predict how fights go. I've been on a pretty bad streak this year. This year in particular, I feel like I've just been, missing more than I've been hitting. Aside from that one pay-per-view, the one with Shevchenko and Jones and all that, I got all them main card fights right except for one, the one that everybody missed. But, man, the only one I predicted right on this one was Gaethje. That's it. I got every other freaking fight wrong. It's just ridiculous. Although I will say, I feel like some of them were kind of easier to predict than others. Like Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze fought. And, I was betting on kind of the exciting prospect, that's been knocking guys out and all that kind of stuff. And, I thought maybe he would find a way to get it done. But, boy, that did not happen. Marvin Vettori, he looked good. And
that was a close one. That one wasn't just, I don't know. Yeah, it was just close.
Yeah, it was. I was confused when they had, one of the judges had that one 30-27, and I was like, I don't know about that. There were a couple of questionable scorecards throughout the night. I can't remember. There were some really bad ones. I can't remember. There was one fight where a guy had it 30-27. I don't think it was that fight. I think it was a fight before, and it's like, dude, what are you looking at? What fight was it? It's going to kill me. I think it might have been. No, it was Chris Duncan and Omar Morales in the second to last fight of the prelims. It was a split decision because one of the judges had it 30-27 Morales, and it's like, where do you get that scorecard?
That's right. I was thinking too. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah.
No, both the other judges had it.
Not right.
Yeah. The two other judges, I think, had it spot on, 29-28 for Duncan. But 30-27 Morales in that fight, insanity.
He did. I don't know. That's insane.
Look, I gave him a round, but you give him all 3 rounds? I just don't think so. I don't know who the judge was. I would throw him under the bus if I could. But I don't know who it was, but I don't know what they were watching. I have no clue. But the Vettori Dolidze one was close. I thought Vettori looked better in this fight than he has in a lot of his previous ones. He just looked a little more put together, a little more well-rounded. He had, I think a lot of people remember his fight with Israel Adesanya, and he just, he wasn't really able to get that much going, and, Izzy kind of embarrassed him, and of course he fought Paulo Costa and looked fine, and he lost to Robert Whittaker, which nothing wrong with that at all. But I think Saturday night he looked more put together than I think he has in the past. So I don't know exactly where he's ranked. I imagine he's still ranked pretty high. He's ranked number 4 right now. Dolidze was 9. So I don't think it's impossible that you see Vettori back in title shot conversation at some point. I think that very much so depends on how the Adesanya-Pereira fight goes coming up. I can't remember when that one is, but
that's like this month, isn't it, or is it next month?
I think it's next month. I do think it's April something.
April 8th.
Yeah. I was thinking 8th or 28th. That's right. Damn, that's gonna be an exciting one. Side note, it will be very crazy if Pereira goes 4-0 against Izzy across, between MMA and kickboxing both. To lose to a guy 4 times.
Pretty fucking cool.
Is wild.
That's terrible. That's embarrassing. Not embarrassing. I mean, he'd kill me every time. But, it is embarrassing.
He's a savage. But
fucking, just not be able to get that guy. That just sucks.
Yeah. To just try as hard as you fucking can, and you never get him. And it's not like Izzy looked bad. I mean, I know that the kickboxing fights were pretty close, and their first fight, Izzy was beating him. Kind of like Usman was Leon Edwards. It's like Izzy was probably a minute and a half or so away from retaining his belt, and it just didn't happen that way. It has to bother you. There's just one guy that you can't seem to beat. You just can't seem to get him. And I mean, the guy's a savage, but he's also, he doesn't have that many pro MMA fights. I think the title fight was his 8th pro MMA fight. Of course, he's got all them kickboxing fights and everything, but still, MMA and kickboxing are very different. I think we've learned by now, from the MMA boxing crossover, they're similar sports, but they're very different. So for Pereira to have the kind of success that he's been having in MMA with so few fights it's very impressive. And I do think somebody like
so
Vettori. Do what?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I'm looking now at the rankings. Who else has a title shot besides him? Up next.
I mean, I feel like you can always make the case for Robert Whittaker, because he's Robert Whittaker. He's clearly one of the best in the division. I think he just beat Jared Cannonier, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Yeah, I think Vettori, after beating Dolidze, has a claim at a shot, and I mean, I think he might pose a serious threat to Pereira because of his wrestling. Not that he utilized a whole lot of it against Dolidze, but it is there. It is an option for him.
So Whittaker beat Vettori back on September 3rd. Should they run it back before fucking Vettori gets a title shot?
I don't know, because they did fight. Because they fought pretty recently. I just don't know that they would run it back again. I know Robert Whittaker, I think, was supposed to fight Paulo Costa at some point, but it just never, for whatever reason, it never came through. Also, I don't know what I was thinking. I was wrong about Robert Whittaker. He beat Jared Cannonier fucking 3 years ago. Who beat Jared Cannonier recently? I'm thinking of somebody. Let me figure that out real quick. It's going to kill me. Oh, Sean Strickland beat him. I don't know how I mixed them up, but, it's two balls.
No, he beat Sean Strickland in a split decision. That was December 17th.
Who the fuck am I thinking? I don't know who I'm thinking of them. Yeah, he did beat Sean Strickland. That's right, split decision. I don't know who I was thinking of. The only guy to beat Jared Cannonier recently has been Israel Adesanya, which, I remember that. I don't know. I feel like the 185 division is just kind of in a tricky spot. You have a lot of guys that, they'll string together some wins, but then they'll fight somebody like Robert Whittaker or like Israel Adesanya, and they'll come up short. It's just tough. It's tough. You have, and then of course Pereira is the champ. So I don't know. Him and Izzy are going to have to figure things out. And then after that, I could see an argument for Whitaker. I could see an argument for Vettori. I think anyone else would probably need another win or two before they could really claim a title shot. Of course,
what about the South African Duplessis?
He's not bad. I'd probably like to see him get one more before he went for a title shot, but he is right there. He is active. He does fight fairly frequently. Ranked number 6. I mean, yeah, I'd like to see him get one more.
He beat Derek Brunson on March 4th. Who is it? Yeah. No,
yeah, and that's impressive.
No, he's active.
Yeah, and Derek.
But I guess that's just breaking into. Yeah, that is just kind of breaking into those top guys. I think maybe one more, and then just to prove that he belongs there.
Yeah,
there's guys up there that he could fight. That if he doesn't have nothing lined up, does it? No, not that quick.
No, there's also a name that we haven't mentioned that's moving up to 185, Khamzat. I think Dana reaffirmed a couple days ago that Khamzat's next fight is going to be at 185. So he's another guy that you're going to have to start thinking about. Of course, will he hop right into a title shot? I kind of doubt that. They'll probably have him fight somebody. I don't know who, but
yeah,
I don't know who wants to fight.
There's any of those, like anybody we just named would be a fucking great fight. Just to prove he belongs, like that he can fit in that division. Yeah.
Yeah, God, if you don't give him somebody that can hold their own in the wrestling department, the grappling department, Khamzat might give them some serious problems. That's why somebody like Vettori or like Robert Whitaker would be crazy. You imagine a card headlined by Robert Whitaker and Khamzat Chimaev? That'd be wild. It'd be damn near as big as a title fight just without the title.
How old is Khamzat?
I don't know.
Let me see. He's 28 years old. Still young as fuck.
Damn. He's got time.
He's also kind of right in that, like, probably part of your physical prime, He's right kind of getting into it,
Yeah.
He could, yeah.
Ooh.
Robert Whitaker's a little older, isn't he? No?
Yeah, he's a little older. Dana White said his next fight will be at middleweight, and then he should be fighting top 3 guys. Of course, the rankings have not been updated as of right now, but you kind of have to assume Vettori's going to move into that top 3 with his win. So we're probably looking at a top 3 that consists of Adesanya, Whitaker, and Vettori. Of course, Pereira and Izzy are going to have their thing. And, the loser of that's still going to be in that top 3. So,
But they're going to want Khamzat to fight before that. So, I mean, shit, I don't know. Everybody's pretty active, right? I mean, Robert Whitaker makes probably the most sense. I don't know. His last fight was September 3rd. So that one, if they made that real quick, then I don't know. I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be fucking. We'll see. But
that'd be a fun one. That would be a fucking fun one. Yeah, I'd sign me. I'll watch. Whoever he's gonna fight. Sign me up. I'm there for it. Whether it's Pereira, Izzy, Whitaker, or Vettori, for any of those guys, I think would be a great fight. So whatever the UFC wants to do, fucking sign me up. I'm there. Let's see. Just kind of going up the main card a little bit. The only finish of the main card, Gunnar Nelson. 39-year-old Gunnar Nelson, I believe. No, 34. I don't know why I thought he was 39. Well, he's been away for a while. He took a break between like 2019 and 2022. He was gone for a minute. He did fight last year on that London card with Aspinall, and he got the decision win, of course. But Brian Barberena is a guy that's been real active. He's crazy. He likes to throw down, everything like that. But man, when you're fighting a grappler as good as Gunnar Nelson, you got to be careful. You got to watch your arm. And he got that submission with like less than 10 seconds left in the first round, I think.
Dude, he's just dangerous on the ground. He's just deadly.
Dangerous, man. That's the thing. If you can, if you can avoid the takedowns and avoid him getting on top of you and, doing his thing, like you can beat him, like, you can beat him, but man, he's tough. He fought Leon Edwards to a split decision back in 2019 too. So, he's a little bit older, now. Maybe the weight cut is a little bit harder for him to, or wait, did he fight Barberena at 170 or 185? Let me see. No, he was at 170. So, yeah, I don't know. Split decision loss to the current champion. It's got to make you feel pretty good. I don't know if Gunnar Nelson is ranked or not. I kind of doubt it.
I don't see him on there.
Yeah, might be a bit of a stretch for him to make a title run, but losing to the current champion by split decision is not the worst position to be in. He's got 2 wins in the past year or so. Cool to see him back. Cool to see him back and being active. And I like a guy who's got jiu-jitsu as good as Nelson does. So hats off to him for getting the win and bunking up my predictions even further. Speaking of my predictions, the one that I got right and fucking the fight of the night, Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. Crazy fight. Just like you knew it was going to be. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that fight was going to be a fucking banger. And it was. It delivered in every regard. Fiziev looked good starting out too. He looked real fast. I got a little worried there for Gaethje in the beginning. I mean, not that Gaethje was bad or anything, but Fiziev was just so quick, so much quicker. Like the speed difference was you could tell that immediately. But just as that fight went on, man, and Gaethje just started pouring it on, just really started swinging. And I mean, you could tell. And look at Fiziev's face after the fight. He wore all that damage, man. It was
Gaethje's chin is just fucking unmatched.
Yeah, he's got a chin like so few other fighters do. And I said it the other day to you. It goes to show you that like he's been knocked out twice, and it was Eddie Alvarez and the former 155 champion, and then Dustin Poirier. It goes to show like how hard those guys hit. They were able to knock out somebody like Justin Gaethje, but that's something that fucking nobody else has been able to do. He's got a chin, and it serves him well. He likes to get in those kinds of fights where your chin is going to be tested, and I feel like Gaethje can put his chin and his power up against damn near anybody. And It was good just to see him back. I feel like we haven't seen him fight since he fought Charles Oliveira last year. Good to see him back in the win column. Of course, very good fight. I don't think Fiziev's stock does not drop at all from this fight. I don't think.
No, I think he moves up.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, of course, you want to win a fight, but like. Hell, one of those judges had it a draw, had it 28-28. So, I mean, it's not like Fiziev did bad or was not competitive or anything like that. It's just, he happened to be fighting Justin Gaethje. And, I think his stock rises, kind of like the Volkanovski-Islam fight. It's like, yeah, Volk lost, but like, it was a great fight. He almost won. He moved up in weight. It's kind of like that. Fiziev went to war with Justin Gaethje, and he didn't come out on top, but he also didn't get slept, which I feel like, a lot of fighters would. So, I'll be happy to see him fight again. I have, zero idea who's next for him. There are so many big fights coming up in that division. It feels like pretty much everybody in that top 6 is, either just fought or has a fight coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's next for everybody? What's next for fucking Gaethje?
Well,
Poirier again? Or however the fuck he wants it said.
I would not be opposed to that, but I think the problem is, so fucking Oliveira is going to fight Dariush in like a month or two. Fucking Gaethje just fought. Chandler's going to fight McGregor later this year. Fiziev just lost, whatever. Who is Islam going to fight next? Because I know a lot of people wanted to see him and Volkanovski run it back, but Volkanovski's going to fight Yair this summer sometime. I'm not 100% sure when. So who's next for Islam? Because like I said, Chandler and McGregor are booked up till later this year. You could do the winner of Oliveira and Dariush, but Islam already, beat Oliveira, submitted him in in the first round. So I think putting him
also, you don't want to.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you don't want to run Volkanovski back against fucking Makhachev if they're not fucking both champions, Like, what's the point? I mean, it's not as exciting. I don't think so, but whatever.
That is true. That's a good point. I mean, it's not a guarantee that Volkanovski beats Yair Rodriguez. I mean, it is Volkanovski, but over the past 2 years, we've seen so many big champions fall. Hell, we talked about, Izzy earlier, Kamaru Usman, who we're going to talk about here in a minute. It's not a guarantee that Volkanovski wins. And Yair Rodriguez did look great against Josh Emmett. Despite the layoff, everything. He ran through Josh Emmett, sadly. I was rooting for Emmett, but it's not a guarantee that Volkanovski beats him. And if Volkanovski loses his title, like you said, I think the second Islam fight kind of disappears, which would suck because I want to see that fight again. At some point, whether it's this year, fucking next year, whatever it is, I do want to see them run that back. I don't know what they're going to do in that division, man. It would make sense for them to put Islam against Gaethje or Poirier. But then what do if you make it, if you make Islam and Gaethje, what do you do with Poirier? And if you do Islam Poirier, what do you do with Gaethje? Because booking those two again would make a lot of sense, I think. But then what do you do with Islam? I don't know. I just don't know. I'd be down to see Poirier and Gaethje fight again, though. That'd be a banger.
Yeah. It just kind of puts... I mean, Gaethje he's probably got he said it. He said he was getting ready. He's making one last run at it. I mean, what's that mean? You probably got 3 fights left in you? He's not going to want to fight more than one more time, maybe twice more before he gets a title shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's looking at, he'll probably want a title fight after beating Fiziev. He might have to fight one more time, but he's got to be looking at title shot after that, I think. And
it would be crazy. I know this isn't going to happen. I just think it'd be a hell of a fight to watch. Is Gaethje fucking get a title shot, win it, and then fucking Volkanovski come up and those two fight. I think that would be some fun shit to watch.
That would be
because they wouldn't just wrestle fuck each other. That would be crazy.
No, they would just stand.
That's the dream fight.
God, that would be insane. It would be...
Gaethje Poirier would be good.
It would be good. Because they fought a long time ago. Poirier beat him and everything, but it's been at least 5 years, just if I had to guess. So, running them two back would be a lot of fun. And see, I think, if you did Poirier and Islam, same thing with Gaethje. It's if Poirier ended up winning that fight and then you did, Volkanovski Poirier, that would also be a crazy fight. It would be insane.
Oh, yeah. Volkanovski fighting any of these motherfuckers is good.
Yeah, regardless of whether, he fights, Islam or fucking whoever he fights, next at 180 or 155. I do want to see him come back to 155. Watching him tear through the 145 division is a lot of fun and everything like that. But, he had a lot of success against the 155 champion. Like, you have to imagine that he wants to try it again, come back. It worked out well. He's obviously not, like he didn't get, outsized. Like he fit in. He almost won the damn title. So it would be a shame if we didn't get to see him move up to 155 again. I just feel like we've got to see that happen. And hell,
I think if he beats he beats Yair, if they're gonna fight next. I'm assuming that's not scheduled, but
I think it is scheduled. I think they do have a date.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know when, but I think they do have a date.
So those two. Yeah, I mean, if Volkanovski beats him, he doesn't need to stick around there any longer. Unless he wants to fight old Arnold Allen, which I
wouldn't hate
I guess if Arnold Allen, if he runs through Max Holloway, then maybe. But he has to run through him.
Oh shit, that's right. He is going to fight Max Holloway. Damn. That's a tough fight for anybody. But if he did win,
Yair hasn't fought Max Holloway. He did fight Yair Rodriguez, didn't he?
I think he did. I think he beat the brakes off of him.
November 2021. Yeah,
I think Holloway fucked him up.
Damn.
He's a savage, man. Damn, Arnold Allen and Holloway. I forgot about that one, but that's going to be a crazy fight.
That's good.
Damn, we have a lot. Yeah, no, it's just a great sport. It's the best sport. It really is. We could we could sit around and talk about fucking previous fights, potential matchups in the future. We could do this all day. I mean, it's such a great sport, and there have been so many great fights just in the past month, and we have a lot of great ones coming up. It's fucking awesome, man. It's so good. We haven't even talked about the main event yet. That's the thing. We talk about all these other fights and how good they were and all this other stuff. We ain't even touched upon the big ass main event that we had on Saturday night. The one fight that everybody was looking to see more than the others. All right, there we go. Had a little technical difficulty there, but definitely got to talk about this main event on Saturday night. The fight that everybody wanted to see, the rematch that everybody was looking forward to. The hype for it over the past week, was crazy. Leon Edwards, though, defended his belt against Usman. The trilogy's over. It's done. It's decided. It was a close fight. It was not bad. Kind of the opposite of what I expected to happen happened. I thought Usman would look stronger in the later rounds than Leon did. Because, in the first fight, he got tired there towards the end, and Usman really started laying it on in that fourth round, everybody knows, before the head kick knockout in the first fight, Usman was, looked like he was going to, coast his way to a decision. It didn't happen. That's what I thought might happen in this second fight. I thought Usman might start to kind of peel away in the later rounds, but the opposite happened. Leon Edwards looked stronger as the fight went on than Usman did. Usman just didn't look the same as he looked in their first fight.
Leon just kept getting up, it's like there wasn't the same level of confidence from Usman. Leon, just every time he'd take him down, he'd hold him there for a second, but he was just able to turn around, back up to the cage. He also cheated like fuck, which I I don't care. They deducted the point. Who cares? But like fucking, he just like he was just able to fucking kind of spin around and fucking just always stand up. Just even if he gave up his back, just he never completely gave it up, and just again and again. And I think it's kind of fucking. It just broke Usman a little bit,
Yeah.
No, it just broke his spirits, broke his confidence, and fucking being able.
It's
to
a hard thing to do, to like take somebody down and hold them down and everything like that. Like it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of stamina, and so when you're working real hard for these takedowns and these positions, but you've got a guy that just keeps getting up. He just wasn't able to dominate Leon with the wrestling like he thought he was going to. And Leon is more than capable on his feet. He's a great kickboxer. It's what led him to success in the first fight. He can hold his own on the feet. So when Usman, wasn't able to get him on the ground and hold him there like he thought he was going to, it eliminated a big part of the game plan for Usman. And, Leon did cheat a little bit. He did. he did have that pretty bad fence grab in the third. Of course, they took a point and everything like that. I mean, there's not really much else you can do in that situation. They kind of punished him. Like they should. It was a pretty egregious fence grab. It wasn't a minor thing. I mean, he grabbed the shit out of that fence. And see, at that point, you're looking at a third round, you get a point deduction. It really is on Leon at that point to like close those final 2 rounds out. You got a point deducted. You kind of got to, it is what it is with the third round. You really have to solidify the final 2 rounds as yours. And he was able to do that, and he got it done. Thought it was interesting, though, like the co-main event, one of the judges scored that fight a draw. So it's not like Usman did bad, but I thought it was pretty clear at the end of those 5 rounds that Rocky was going to keep his title. And hats off to him. Had to feel pretty good to do that too in front of your home crowd. The crowd fucking erupted when Leon came out there. They were doing his introduction alongside Bruce Buffer. All the fans were fucking screaming and shit. It had to feel great. It had to feel great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The whole pulling the trigger on him too when he came up there acting like an ass, was beautiful. It was like it was like, I'm not scared of you, I'm not scared of any of this bullshit. He did, he just kind of fucking.
What rounds specifically?
He just kind of. Did Usman win any of those rounds, or what would you say?
He won at least. Well, he definitely won 1 round clear, and then the third. I don't remember exactly how the third round went, but like even if you give it to Leon, it's still a dead even round.
That's right, because there was that point deduction too. That round Usman got.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, did he?
See,
I don't remember.
If you give Usman that round, it's a 10-8 round.
It's been 2 days, and I'm thinking about it.
I feel like Usman definitely won 1 or 2 rounds, but I thought it was pretty clear by the end of the fight that Leon had won 3, that he was going to keep his belt.
I noticed it's like once you get to a point where somebody's just kind of, it was a timing thing. If all you're going to do is wrestle somebody and hold them down, if that's your whole fucking game plan, then like once there's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the round's pretty much over, because he's going to survive on the ground. He's going to be able to fucking wiggle around, and you won't be able to get a good position on him. If you don't take him down and hold him there within that first 2 minutes, it's your hope for winning that kind of round is just not as good. Because Leon was just active the whole time. Like, he just was always kicking, always a lot of fucking kicking, And once in a while, he was just setting up those head kicks. He barely had any head kicks to like the fucking 5th round.
He wanted to reenact.
And I mean, everybody knew that's what he was looking for.
Fight. You know, I mean, shit, you can't blame him if it worked in the first fight. You know, I can't blame him for wanting to try another one. Of course, Usman had to know that shit was coming. You know, you get knocked out by a head kick like that. It's probably in the back of your mind the entire fight. It's like, okay, like he hasn't thrown a whole lot of head kicks yet, but he will, and I can't get slept like I did.
I never heard his corner mention it to him during the fight. I was listening for it, but I might have missed it if they said it, but they were always like, oh, watch out for this, be ready for this. But they never mentioned the head kicks. I guess everybody just knew. They were like, they knew he's looking for the fucking head kick. Like, no shit.
Second in the UFC.
Especially if that's one of your, what is that? It was his second loss of his career, second or third loss of his career.
Time ago.
Fucking.
Yeah. His only 2 UFC losses are to Leon Edwards. For Usman or Edwards?
What's next for him?
Well,
while we're looking at these rankings, got them pulled up. What's next? I don't know.
It's weird. Like, I'm not used to him not being the champion, so it's just kind of like it's hard to imagine him like as a contender. You know, like back in the fucking climb.
Does he retire?
I think that would be a fun fight. I swear,
I'd love it if Bilal got a fucking shot at
podcast Twitter account. I said something about Bilal Muhammad fighting Kamaru Usman, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" You know, and now it doesn't seem like a crazy fight to make. Not at all. You know, I think the UFC is looking at doing Bilal versus Shavkat though, which is crazy.
It's sad. It's bullshit that like you've won all these fights and now you're gonna fight the guy who literally is like just a guy who's creeping up there that doesn't seem like anybody could even fuck with him. Like, you've earned your title shot, but instead they're gonna fucking put you against a guy who might not be ranked the number one contender.
They
but
do,
kind
man.
Of like,
they just fucking hate.
He's that guy that nobody probably wants to fight.
I don't know what it is.
They really just fucking hate Bilal. You know,
like, I mean, I guess you could say. You know, I like Bilal. I don't have anything against the guy. I like watching him fight. I think he's a good fighter. But, you know, he has a lot of decisions. He doesn't finish people all that much. Of course, he did finish Sean Brady in his last fight a couple months ago. You know, some people would say that Bilal isn't the most exciting fighter to watch, and which is a critique that's been made of pretty much every wrestler ever. But they're going to give the title shot to Colby Covington, who I would also say I don't know that I'd say he's a boring fighter, but I wouldn't say he's the most exciting fighter ever. You know, his fights with Usman were pretty good, but like his fight with Masvidal was not all that impressive. You know, and hell, Masvidal is the only guy he's beat in fucking 3 years. You know. Before he fought Usman the second time, he fought Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley had a damn injury. You know, he was beating him pretty good before that, but you know, we're talking about a guy that's got, you know, 2 wins in the past 3 years or so, and I mean, I don't know how you make an argument for Colby Covington to fight for the title next over Bilal Muhammad. I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get it. The fuck does Bilal have to do? You know? What do you want him to do, man?
Yeah, like, what the fuck does he have to do? I mean, even if you put Bilal and Colby together, would not even be. I mean, I think that'd be fine. But I mean, not even. I don't know.
Masvidal.
I really should. Well, Gilbert Burns already has something lined up. Yeah, he's fighting. Oh shit, April 8th too. April. That's right. That's April 8th. There's a good ass card. Let me see. Who else is out there? Damn, really just. I mean, it makes sense for Shavkat to fight Bilal, but like, I don't know. I just think he deserves a title shot. So when Bilal fought, I don't remember how this one went. Bilal fought Leon Edwards back a while back.
It was an eye poke.
It says it ended with the fucking...
in the second round. I think it was like early in the second round.
Bilal could not continue. What happened there?
Yeah, he just got poked in the eye pretty bad and couldn't continue. And Leon, to be fair, Leon was beating him, before that, in the first round, very clearly won the first round. Which is, that's another thing. I think the story kind of writes itself for that. They have unfinished business. They fought before fairly recently, and it ended with a fucking eye poke. So, they have unfinished business. Leon's on this. Leon is on he's on a pretty good win streak of his own. Fucking Bilal's on like an 8-fight, win streak. Like, it just makes a whole lot of sense. But they're not going to do that. So, I mean,
instead, you had to fight that dangerous fucking rat-looking motherfucker.
You got to fight the most dangerous-looking guy in the top 6.
He's a killer. God damn, that sucks.
Title shot. I mean, damn. Yeah.
It's who is I'm looking at his fucking everybody he's fought. He hasn't fought anybody that just jumps out to me as like, oh, this dude's fucking. Jeff Neal was pretty good. That fight was nice, but like, I mean,
no,
is Jeff Neal fucking
top 10 for sure?
Is
not
he,
a top 5
I mean,
guy.
He's top
kind of
10.
the same thing with Neil Magny.
But is he like, is he top 5?
He's top 15. But he's not bad. He's just not really a title contender. And he
like, why not Shavkat Colby? Why does that not make sense? I think, like, Colby's been not that fucking active.
I don't know.
Shavkat's a guy who,
really
why not make Colby just the gatekeeper of this fucking division?
To the top like this. I mean, it's definitely part of his character, plays some part in it. Colby's going to talk a bunch of trash, and that'll help sell the fight and fucking everything like that. But man, I don't know. I wish they were just going to go a different route with it. I wish they would give the title shot to Bilal. Fucking, I don't know. Have fucking, I don't know, Usman or Colby fight Shavkat. I don't know. You got to do something with him. Burns and he's got Masvidal lined up, and he is going to beat Masvidal.
Usman Shavkat would be nice. Burns, he's got.
You got to do something with Usman and Colby. If you weren't going to have Colby fight for the title, and they've already fought each other twice, so you don't want to put them together. So I don't know. It's a tricky division. It's a tricky division now that they've got a new guy who's solidly on top.
That's only until Shavkat gets there and takes his head off.
I don't know if it's
really just. Is Bilal going to get a chance to get? Wait. Have they decided that Shavkat's going to fight Bilal yet? Is that like set in stone? Because it's unfortunate because that's just going to be. Bilal's going to have to fight all the way back up the fucking division just to get a title shot, and probably fucking isn't going to get it if Shavkat beats him. If he loses to Shavkat, which I think is. I don't say it's likely. I don't know.
I don't know. And he beats Shavkat. He better. It's
much higher level of competition, but still. If he beats Shavkat and doesn't get a title shot, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's
he's 34. How much more fucking. How much more has he got in
this big unbeaten streak?
A couple years.
He's 34. If he does get a title shot, it might be the only one that he gets. So, when he's online complaining about not getting a title shot, man, I don't blame him. It's crazy that he's not getting one. I don't know, man. I feel for him. I do. He definitely deserves him a title shot, but he's got to go fight that killer before he can even think about getting one. And he still might not get one. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Fucking, because Shavkat's only 28. Damn, he's a young buck. He's fucking dangerous. Fucking, what's his name? Fucking,
him and Chandler are fighting.
Goddamn Connor. He's gonna stay at 170, isn't he?
Almost certainly, yeah. Yeah.
And they're gonna give him a title shot if he beats Chandler. Well, no, I mean that doesn't. I mean, will they give him a title shot or will they make him fight?
No.
Shit, I would like to see him fight Bilal. I'd like to see him fight fucking. Have him and Colby Covington fought in the past? That was
Colby's
like a thing, wasn't it?
Or no, for Connor.
That'd be. How do you think that would go?
Yeah. Shavkat's so big, man.
I think so.
It's like Connor's just fucking. He's a bit small for the fucking
Shavkat and Connor would be nice.
You know, I think that's kind of why. Well, I don't know. They might get. I bet that they give him a title shot if he beats Chandler. But then you're looking at him fighting Leon Edwards, which I think makes, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it makes sense. I would say that it's a better matchup for Connor than a lot of other guys in that division. But if Colby beats Leon, then you're going to have Connor fight Colby, and Colby's just going to, he's going to wrestle him the whole fight.
I think the build-up wise, I think Colby fighting Connor is a huge sell, just before the fight. But I don't think the actual fight would be that exciting.
The trash talking would be crazy.
Because Colby won't ever shut the fuck up.
It'd be very fun. The fight would sell, but I think the fight would look a lot like the Masvidal fight did. Colby would just wrestle him, and it wouldn't be that exciting. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Of course, Connor could also lose to Chandler, and then, all those plans are ruined.
Yeah. Shit. Because Connor's got a couple fights left before he's fucking. Well, he's got two left in his contract, and then what is it?
Yeah.
And then, then he signs.
He said he wants to sign a new deal with the UFC after those two fights are up.
Maybe 4 or 5 fights left.
Things could change between now and then. That second fight's probably not going to happen until early next year. So, who knows what happens between now and then. I don't know. I'd like to see him resign. I think the sport is better with Connor in it. It's definitely more exciting. I wouldn't really want to see him go anywhere else or fucking do anything else. I would like to see him stay in the UFC and be active. And, there's nothing really like a Conor McGregor fight. Yeah, when Bruce Buffer announced John Jones for the Gane fight, he introduced him as the one and only. And the only other time I can remember him doing that for a fighter was Conor. The one, the only, the notorious Conor McGregor. They're different. They just they transcend the sport a little bit, Like John Jones coming back would have been crazy even if it wasn't for the title. Whoever he fought, it would sell. They had Conor come back and fight Cowboy Cerrone a couple years ago after that big layoff, and it was a headliner. It sold who knows how many tickets. It's just, no. He doesn't deserve a title shot if he beats Chandler, but they are going to give him one, and you can definitely see why they're going to give him one. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. I mean, we're approaching that hour mark.
Oh, you don't want to talk about your
we could.
That
we
one,
could, yeah.
one of the most disappointing things that
Aaron
happened to you,
Rodgers
what is
is
the
gonna
past
go to the
15
Jets.
years? Your fucking boy
On the
leaving?
Pat McAfee show, and kind of just confirmed what everybody was reading and thinking and everything like that. So, pretty disappointing shit for Packers fans. We lost Alan Lazard, we lost Tunyon, and A-Rod's going to go to the Jets. It's just, we went 8-9 last season, and boy, 8-9 is going to look pretty good. I bet after like next season, if we go 8-9, it'll be a miracle. I think the Packers are just going to suck for a little bit. It is what it is. Every team goes through it. Your team can't be great forever. The Packers have been great for longer stretches of time than most other teams. And one of our stretches is just over.
Now it's
shit. They might not even.
Now
be
it's
good
the Jets' turn to be great for about 2 seasons before A-Rod is hanging it up.
I mean, you'd rather have A-Rod than Zach Wilson for sure. But I'm not convinced that A-Rod fixes all their problems and makes them into, like legit playoff contenders. I'm not really buying it. Hey, shit, the Packers missed the playoff last season. I wouldn't say the Packers are worse than the Jets. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Shit. It's also they are just kind of moving the whole Packers team over to the Jets too. So it's not like the team's getting any better; they're just getting older. It's not like the Packers are getting. It's not like those players are getting better; they're just getting fucking older. And there's no OBJ coming. I don't think he said. It sounds like he wants to go to the fucking Giants. So, we got 3 minutes before we're at the hour. Fucking, what are your thoughts on the fucking?
We couldn't wait to do this podcast before that happened.
Tuesday, you think it's all just political?
It is assuming it happens tomorrow. I mean, Trump said it's happening tomorrow. Now, whether that means it is happening tomorrow or not is, kind of whatever. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to deny that it is political at this point. I mean, you got a DA that's pretty political. He's kind of notorious for reducing felony cases to misdemeanors, and here in Trump's case, he's taken a misdemeanor and upgrading it to a felony. Also a charge that the Department of Justice declined to pursue against Trump. I don't know. I mean, if somebody breaks the law, they need to be held accountable. But I can't really fault people for seeing this as just a big political thing.
It's not like this is not the first president ever to pay hush money to a fucking prostitute at all.
I wonder if you started looking at all these.
It's actually probably more uncommon
like
not
that. How much kind of stuff like that you would find? I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from it is that they are going to turn Trump into the martyr that he makes himself out to be. If they're gonna arrest Trump and they're gonna do the little perp walk with him, and it's gonna fire his base up, and it's something that I think is.
It's gonna fire up it'll go both ways. It'll get everybody. They want him back. If it makes it where he just sweeps, I think that there's a lot of fucking parts of the machine that enjoyed Trump being there because all the fundraising that came out of it and all it just got everybody excited, and it's just just more of the propaganda. I don't think people care as much this go around though. I think everybody's
some interest, and it's kind of what Trump has been missing this whole time. I mean, the man's been running for president for months now, and you don't really hear from him all that much, but you know, this just gives his supporters some more red meat to go crazy over. And I think there's a decent shot that it might lead to Trump regaining the presidency. I've said before that I think, Biden versus Trump again. I don't know that Trump really posed that much of a threat to Biden before all of this, but yeah, I mean, if they drag this thing out and Trump is able to milk it like he's going to and gets his supporters riled up, I mean, it could help him. Well, one, it could help him secure the Republican nomination by firing up that base that's kind of been quieter as of late. Of course, there's no telling who all is going to hop into that primary. And of course, the more people that hop in, they split up that anti-Trump vote. This could help Trump secure that nomination. And I don't know, maybe win back the presidency. I don't know.
Shit. We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow is, because I saw a bunch of people setting out some barricades. I also saw somebody tweeting if your Patriot buddy is telling you to, go protest this thing, your Patriot buddy is a Fed, which is funny and fair. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. There was excitement around the January 6th shit because it was kind of the last hurrah for the rallies, but rallies haven't been really happening like that.
In this particular kind of Trump
event. We'll see.
After all the January 6th stuff, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, probably, if you're a big Trump fan, I'd probably sit this one out, man.
They're still
probably watch it from your TV, the safety of your own home. Don't get caught up in some craziness. I don't know. Okay. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I think that's a pretty good way to close it out. Just as a reminder, next episode, going to be talking with Trevor Peek, 8-0 UFC fighter from Tennessee, like me. A lot of fun. Really excited to talk to him. Looking forward to it. Really exciting stuff coming up on the podcast. So be sure you tune in. Follow everywhere you can. The podcast is pretty much everywhere. They do podcasts. At Bonfire Brief Pod on Twitter, so you get updates and everything like that. I think it's the same thing over on Instagram. Not 100% sure. I'm not a big Instagram guy, but follow the podcast everywhere you can so you don't miss an episode. Peace out.